Look at this clip here and watch Larry Fink talk about his thoughts on whether Bitcoin and crypto can be a global market. You want to beat the big wall of money that's coming.
It can be, we see these big giant movements every day. It's a thin market. And so can it evolve into a global market? Possibly. Certainly by evidence of the imagination of so many who want to learn about it or interested in about it, to me is a very telling sign. Another good example why understanding big data, like how many hits and all that, really is a defining statement. And so we look at it as something is real, but it's still untested. It still has many we have to go through many markets to see if it's going to be permanently real or it's going to be a variant of that sometime in the future.
What do you make of BlackRock now trying to pursue with an ETF? You have Citadel, you have a number of Wall Street players who, by the way, for a very long time actually were very negative, skeptical, just like you.
Yes. I started positive on Bitcoin because I was disappointed with the Federal Reserve policy. But then I realized that you're going from Caribbean to Scylla, in other words, from something bad to something vastly worse. At least with Federal Reserve, we have transparency, we know what's going on, we can influence it. There's a system. But with crypto, tend to concentrate among big players, and it is how can I explain it? It's distracting, and effectively, what has happened thanks to crypto is we're going to have FedNow rolling out next month.
So there you have the Black Swan's author giving his take on Bitcoin. He's very skeptical about it. And he's saying that the Federal Reserve has a lot of transparency and, that's what he feels safe in. Well, if you guys want to listen to this, be careful what you listen to because Bitcoin has been that hedge against monetary debasement. And from Sam Callahan, for the first time in human history of the world, we have a cult coupled with a financial instrument. So this is related. I got a call from Paul Tudor Jones and he says, do you know that when Bitcoin went from 17,000 to 3,000, that 86% of the people that owned it at 17,000 never sold it? So here's something. With a finite supply and 86% of the owners being religious zealots, a cult following coupled with a fixed supply, that's a major price appreciation. We'll look at this before this video's out, so you make sure you want to watch this to the end. And taking a look at this chart here, the U.S. median new house priced in Bitcoin, as you see here, what's happening? You look at the price of Bitcoin, it starts to get lower and lower, and the U.S. home prices are just becoming to get more appreciated in Bitcoin. As time progresses, we'll be buying Bitcoin, buying real estate with Bitcoin and transacting in Bitcoin and seeing Bitcoin as that store of value because as you see, Bitcoin continues to outpace. One Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. From Crypto, he's also calling for a bullish setup. From the MVRV Z-score, you see every time we come down into this green area and we come out, price action then blast up. Every single time we come down, come out, price action then blast up. Every single time, price action, rinse, repeat. And right now, we are around the $30,000 threshold. How high will we go? We'll look at that, give you a take from the Bitcoin bros. Without further ado, if you guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate all of the support. And taking a look at an update from Emmy Mooney on Twitter, you can check her out. Bitcoin has finally broken free from the Gaussian channel. So every time this happens, what happens? Well, the Bitcoin bros are going to look at this for you and analyze it. And what she's looking at here, taking a look at the Bitcoin price chart, if we zoom in, we see that Bitcoin did indeed break out of this Gaussian channel. This is the Gaussian on the weekly. So the question is, if we zoom back out in the charts, every time Bitcoin broke out, what does it do? How high does it go? And then how long does it take to the new all-time high? So if you see right here, we can zoom in at this price action right here. And we broke out at this time frame and had the close, and then as you see we came back down and then had a bump and run pattern, and then we went up about 85%. And as far as the date range from the confirmation of the breakout, how many days until the all-time high, we're looking at about 693 days. So let's look back in the charts and see how long it took in previous cycles once we broke out of this. So zooming into the next price action, you see we broke out of the Gaussian channel right here and then had that retest and then the all-time high about 742 days. And then zooming into the earliest cycle, we broke out, had the retest, and then had that macro all-time high 497 days later. So we see 497, 742, 693. So if we do anything similar to what we did of past, we can sort of see when that next all-time high could be. We just had this breakout. If there's any indication, 492 days will take us to October 2024, and then we take another 600 and about 700 days. You're in May of 2025. So if we come back up and retest this green line, you see how high Bitcoin is going. You're talking about a multi-$100,000 Bitcoin price target. Definitely bullish for Bitcoin and the crypto space. And then we have an update on this chart. What chart is this? This is the 2-year moving average multiplier on looking to Bitcoin. And as you see here, every time we're in this green zone, it's a buying opportunity. We've been in this green zone for some time. We're getting ready to come out of it. So note the top price, 164,000. When we came out of it here, it was 31,000. When we came out of it here, it was 2,000. So when we came out of it here, 2,000 to 20,000, that's a 10x. And when we came out of it here, 31,000 to almost 70,000, that's over a 2x. And right now, at the current time of this recording, we're at 164,000. So if we don't hit a 2x, taking it to 320,000, between 164 and 250,000 probably is being conservative for the Bitcoin price chart, but also a viable range. And then taking a look at the golden ratio, you see right now the golden ratio is, coming up from this orange level and spiking up, going towards that green level. At the current time of this recording, the top bounds at 67,000. You see we were oversold and we could have bought in here, but right around the $24,000 threshold at the current time of this recording is when we broke from this lower bound area. So let's look at before the times when we broke this lower bound area. It's around 5,200. This top area was about 4 times less than the peak. The last time we broke through it in 2015 and 17, around 273. And this top area was 1336. So we're looking at about a 15x to get to that $20,000 threshold. So as you see, every time we break through this, it could easily do a 10x to hit that upside peak for that next blow off top. Definitely bullish and looking bullish for Bitcoin and crypto. The last chart we want to show you is this Pi cycle top indicator. And as you see, when we were here, Pi cycle top indicator was up to 12,000 and we ended up hitting this peak around 13,000. So are we going to see Bitcoin come up and hit the peak before the cycle top? Probably not, but no one knows. You have to just sit here and look and see how this plays out. The current top of this right now is around 44,000. Could Bitcoin go up and smack that before we have a retracement? That definitely could be in the cards. We've showed you 48,000 as a technical target pre-halving before we have a cool off. So we could come up, retest this, have some type of slow drawdown till post-halving till we ultimately have that blow off top. When we came all the way up from 12,000 to almost 70,000, that's a 5x. So from where we are right now, if you do a 5x from 45,000, you're looking at $220,000 Bitcoin. That's definitely within the cards and realm of possibility. Stack sats and keep holding on for dear life. With that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. If you guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.